I remember meeting new people. I remember being invited to places. I remember all of that, right? And it's like, even though I didn't miss out on being able to do those things, I also had to be mindful that I did have someone at home. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Life After I Do. I am your host, Nisha G, and I'm here with my husband,
Molito,
who's always dramatic. Hey, boo.
Hey, Buscaronis.
How's it going?
I'm a little tired today.
Yeah? A little tired?
Yeah, I'm a little tired.
You slept for like a day and a half, so I'm just a little confused.
And I've been trying to get back on track.
But there's a saying or like a study that shows that if you sleep too much, like it can have the opposite effect on you.
It's just as bad as not sleeping enough. I know.
So that's probably what it was. But
no, I don't think I slept too much at all.
You don't?
I don't. I think I slept the appropriate amount of time.
I mean, in technical sense, like you should have slept. You were on vacation.
That's what I do.
Right, you were on vacation. So, how was your vacation week?
Short.
I mean, including the days that you took off before vacation.
Short. These 10 days have flown by.
I know. They go by really quick. Like, I was just thinking, like, on Monday, I was like, okay, so he's on vacation this week. But I was like, it's going to be Thursday before I know it. And it feels like we had one day together, and it was Friday. Like...
I feel like the weekend came and went. The last week, the whole anniversary, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like
that's what it probably sped it by.
And then I think Wednesday night was the nail in the coffin.
Why? Because we stayed up too late. So we had invited some friends over for dinner on Wednesday night, and every time we get together with our friends, like we end up being together all night. So we didn't get to bed till well past midnight. So that meant Phoenix also didn't go to bed till well past midnight. We get up on Thursday morning. I get up, he gets up, we get her ready for school. I'm getting ready for the gym. He's getting ready for the gym. The plan always is to take her to school, go to the gym. And while I'm getting dressed and he's sitting down putting on his socks, Phoenix has meanwhile gotten back in our bed and is laying down fully clothed, like ready to go to school, but she is knocked out, like fully knocked out. And then you look over at me and you're like, yeah, we're all taking the day off. He was like, nobody is no good today. We were all so freaking sleepy. We didn't go to bed until like 1:45, so because well past midnight. And then we got up at 6. The alarms started going off at 6. Her alarm went off at 6. My alarm went off at 6. Your alarm went off at 6. And we were just like, we were dragging it. And I was like, I know if we send her to school like this, we're going to be getting a message about how she was falling asleep in class and all this other stuff. And you were just like, executive decision, everybody back to bed. I think that was like much needed though. That was much needed because we were just like,
I just knew I was going to have to be the bad guy.
Yeah, because I was going to push through. I wasn't going to say anything.
I had to be the bad guy.
I was just going to push through. Whatever you said and whatever you say goes. If we were getting up and leaving the house.
The funny thing is when I put her back in her bed, she was like, I'm not going to school today. And I was like, do you want to go to school today? I want to sleep. I was like, okay, go back to sleep. I was like, I don't know why you over surprised? Here. I don't know why you over here fake capping like you
right, like today. She gonna be like, oh yeah, I want to go. Now if this was her last year,
she would definitely.
She would have been like, oh no, I am not missing school. Like when she first started school, we would have to use that as like a threat. Sometimes we would use that as a threat, like you're not gonna be able to go to school.
What a difference a year's made.
Right now that she done got the experience and now things are like progressing, she like, like if I don't have to go to school today.
I ain't going.
I don't want to go. Now she's on this whole kick, and I completely forgot why she kept saying this. she was like, we always ask her, like, do you want mommy or daddy to go to work or whatever, right? And she would always say, like, daddy go to work, mom stays with me. So now she's like, Mom, you can go back to work. That's what she tells me. So when I was putting her down to go to sleep, she was like, Mom, can I go to Think Together on Monday? Because you're going to go to work. So now that you go to work, I can go to Think Together.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
She wants to go to that.
She wants to go to the after school program. And it didn't dawn on me because she came home one day and she was like, her friends go to after school.
You know who goes after school?
Delilah goes to after school.
Not every day.
Not every day, but she goes.
Do you know who goes after school every day?
Who?
Mila.
Oh, okay. So that's what it is. Cause she like their after school program is called Think Together, and so she had started asking me maybe like a month or two ago, and she was like, "Why do some kids get to go to Think Together and some kids don't get to go to Think Together?" And I was explaining to her the kids who go to Think Together is because their mommies and daddies usually work, and the time that you guys get out of school is too early for mommy and daddy to come and pick up their kids. And so I was like, so they go to after school program, which works better with mommy and daddy's schedules, So now she's got it in her head. If you just go back to work, meaning me, then she could go to Think Together because she knows you're not going to be able to pick her up when you go to work.
But she also don't realize that if she go to Think Together, she's not going to dance.
Right, and that's why I tried to explain to her. I was like, babe, so when I was putting her down tonight, she was like, can I please go to Think Together on Monday? And I was like, Phoenix, you're not going to Think Together. Oh my gosh, Mom, please. And she's like begging on the verge of tears. And I was like, Phoenix, there's no reason for you to be at Think Together. You're not going to Think Together. Even her teacher said that if we could avoid sending her to Think Together, to not send her to Think Together. I was like, baby, you're not going to Think Together. There's no reason. She was like, but you're going to go to work. So just go to work and then I can go to Think Together.
But even if you go to work, you're not going to Think Together because Daddy would just be working nights and I would pick her up at 2:00 and she'd be home.
She just really wants to go hang out with her friends. I said, oh my gosh, it just dawned on me and I was like, that's what she was putting together.
Mm-hmm.
She was putting. That's smart. Why she kept saying, "Yeah, you just go to work." Like she's adamant. Now she's always like, "No, Mom, stay with me, stay with me." And now all of a sudden she's like, "Go to work." Yeah, Mom, go to work. Low key had me in my dang on feelings.
Welcome to the club.
And then I had makeups to do today. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a freelance makeup artist, and I had some clients.
That's a stretch.
I had some clients to do.
You're a super freelance makeup artist.
I had some clients to do today, and so he was telling her, he's like, yeah, Mommy has to go to work, so we got to do this, and that. She was like, oh, you're going to work? She was like, have a good first day back, Mom.
She said, are you going to put on your work shirt?
Yeah, are you going to put on your work shirt?
I guess she think everybody got a uniform.
Because, well, I guess now that I think about it, she doesn't remember when I worked. That's why.
But she think everybody got a uniform.
Because she sees you, so. And then Mila's dad. It's so freaking funny. That girl is hilarious. There's literally never a dull moment with our child. Never a dull moment. But other than that, how was your overall vacation, babe? How would you rate your vacation, I guess?
Expensive.
Huh?
Expensive.
That's how you would rate your vacation?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like that's life now. Just really quick, because you said expensive, and it popped in my head. What are your thoughts about the 99-cent store it's closing?
I don't really care.
You don't care? Like, think about it. Like, that's the end of, like...
I don't go there.
It doesn't matter. It's the 99-cent store. You've been to the 99-cent store. Like, when we needed to get, like, pans or something like that for, like, Thanksgiving or... Like, run up to the 99-cent store. I used to like to get the balloons there for Phoenix.
We got Dollar Tree.
We're not going to have the 99-cent. But what happens when Dollar Tree goes? If they're having the same problems that 99-cent store was having.
Trust me. Dollar Tree is doing just fine.
For me personally, I just feel like with all of the changes that are happening, both like worldwide, politically, like everything, even something as small as the 99-cent store closing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's making me like more aware of my age now, because now the things that were like in our childhood and stuff is gonna be things that our kids are not gonna know about.
I mean, these kids can't write in cursive, so
I mean, but you know what I mean. Like I'm just saying,
I know what you said.
like things, life is just progressing. Life is just moving forward. Nothing is staying the same, which I don't expect it to. But it's a little hard to like just see the change. Like I'm excited that I'm able to live through the change. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I feel like it's like Blockbuster all over again. What? Why are you laughing at me? Because if I'm making it seem like I'm super old, huh?
You said the change, and I was thinking,
The change of life.
I was thinking menopause.
Oh my gosh. I can't take you nowhere. Can't take you nowhere.
You know how my brain works.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about like the changes, everything, all the changes that are happening.
Well, I'm just hoping everyone listening this week. If you're listening this week, congratulations, you survived the eclipse.
What if something big does happen though?
I guess
like, what if we lose all electricity or something?
It is what it is.
I mean, there's nothing you can really do about it, but I'm just saying.
As long as I got my snacks.
I mean, everyone's going overboard talking about you gotta like pretty much prepare for the end of the world.
Doomsday prepper.
Doomsday preppers and stuff. Now don't get it twisted. Respect to doomsday preppers because I want to be on that level someday. I do think it's extremely necessary. However, I'm just going to go out on a limb and just say or hope that the eclipse is just the eclipse and that it comes and it goes just as fast as it came. Yeah. So
the only people that need to be concerned are people with electric cars.
Why?
Because they can't get nowhere.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. I mean, I feel like they'll be fine. If you had a good charge before, I think you should be good.
Okay. Once the MP drop, it ain't gonna matter.
I didn't even think about that.
What we got today, babe?
That just made me think about the Matrix.
What we got today, babe?
I don't know why that made me think about the Matrix. I wanted to talk a little bit about growing up together. Right? And I wanted to talk about that because someone had said to me that we were couples goals.
Please don't.
And I was like,
please don't. We are
and
not.
it just in my mind, I was just like really laughing.
Like, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't. I was like, I appreciate the compliment. I said thank you. Obviously,
we only really like each other like 3 days
ago. But I was like, no, not couples goals. And then it made me think about the clip from, I think it was from Black Love, where Tabitha and her husband was on, and they had the same thing happen to them where somebody referred to them as couple goals, and she was talking about like pretty much all the things that had transpired through their marriage and relationship leading up to where they are in life now. And so when it was said to me, I was just like, I instantly thought about that clip that I had heard. And so I was just like, I think it's necessary to have the conversations that where you see people are, what's so funny?
Necessary evil.
Oh, the duality. Bye, babe. Where you see people are now, it took time for them to get to where they are. It's just like when you see a super successful person, right? And it could look like their success was overnight, but not knowing that this is something they've been working toward for the past 10, 15, 20 years, right? That moment that they are in life now is just a cumulative of all the things that have happened.
Most definitely.
In the past to get them to where they are now.
Most definitely.
And then where they are now is probably still not even where they want to be. Right? It just looks good to the other person. And that's kind of like how I feel about us.
It looks good on paper.
Right. And that's kind of like how I feel about us. Like,
oh, you think we only look good on paper?
No, oh, no, we look good on paper.
But I'm saying only on paper.
No.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying is like even going forward, where we are in our life now compared to where we were just 8 years ago is what are you doing with your head?
I'm just paying attention.
Where we are today compared to where we were just 8 short years ago is completely different.
8 years ago, we were good, pimp.
We weren't bad,
We was good.
but
Now, if you would have said like,
I would take now over 8 years ago. I mean, actually, let me take that back. I would. No, let me take that back. I would take now over 8 years ago, and the main reason would be because of our child.
oh,
That would be the main
you
reason.
really love her. I'm taking 8 years ago. We could still make her.
Goodbye.
That's my.
Goodbye.
Oh.
But just to give you guys a little background. So my husband and I have been together since I was 15 years old. And if you want to take it back even further, the first time we started dating was the 6th grade. I was in the 6th grade. Okay? And he was little old Maurice, who I would see across the quad at school, who was always sweaty from playing basketball during lunch and then would always run over to me and try to get a hug from me. And I used to be like, why are you coming over here so freaking sweaty? Like, you used to be so freaking sweaty, and I never understood it. He was also one of the only young men in junior high school who had a full beard, which I thought was a little weird. But nonetheless, here we are.
Now you in love with the tickler.
Please stop referring to it as that. Stop. You have to stop. You have to stop.
I've named it.
You've really got to stop doing that.
I've named it.
But you've really got to stop doing
it's
that.
It's the tickler.
You really got to stop doing
it's
that.
It's the tickler.
Anywho, so this journey goes back decades. Okay, decades. I'm talking 6th grade. In 6th grade, he asked me to be his girlfriend.
I was in 7th grade.
And he was in 7th grade, and I was in 6th grade. He asked me to be his girlfriend. Of course, I said yes. And then, like, what was it, 2 weeks?
9 days.
He remembers. Apparently, 9 days later, I wrote him the little letter, the ones that you kind of fold up like origami style, and then you pull the little tab. And I wrote him a letter, and I was just like, I really think we should just be friends. Like, not even sure I'm really feeling you like that. I was kind of put on the spot. I'm really sorry. Like, can we be friends? And we became really good friends after that.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
We did. Oh, well, in his eyes, he was still hurt. I mean,
I'm hurt today.
So,
you rejected me.
Anywho, when we get to high school,
you still ain't made up for that.
When we get to high school, we got a little bit closer as far as friends in high school. And then, long story short, he ends up asking me out again. And this time I was like, yes, absolutely. Like, I was really excited. And I always tell you this, but I never, ever forget the day. The first person I told that that I was like now dating you. Shouts out to Ima. That's my girl. I called Ima and I was like, Ima, guess what? And she was like, what? And I was like, guess who just asked me out? And she's like, who? And I was like, Maurice. And she was like, Maurice Gill? And I was like, yes. And I was like,
you have my whole government out there.
I was like, yes. I was like, so like, I'm going out with Maurice now. So she was the first person I told. And I just remember that day because, like, you came over to my house like 20 minutes later. I remember you were wearing all black. You were on my doorstep and you had the biggest smile on your face.
All black?
You were wearing all black.
No, that can't be true.
That was true. You were wearing a black shirt with like kind of faded black babe. I remember kind of like faded black jeans. And
I was heavy in my plaid stage.
You had the biggest grin on your face.
I wasn't even driving then.
You had the biggest grin on your face.
How'd I get to your house?
I don't know how you got to my house, but you came to my house. I remember you came to my house.
This story is fishy.
Okay. Obviously, he doesn't have another recollection of it, so... But anywho, so yeah.
Maybe I was driving then.
So yeah. So then we started dating, and we've pretty much been together ever since.
She's been a thorn in my side ever since.
Once we officially started like dating, where we were actually at dating age in high school. I know that's kind of debatable for some people.
What's dating age?
I feel like dating age is like 16. Right. I was 15, but I was going on 16. You were 16.
Was I?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we've been together ever since, and we've gotten married, had a baby, done all of the things. But when I look back on our relationship, I know, like I had asked you the other day, I was like, would you advise our daughter to go down the same path that we took, like being together so early in life, right? And like moving in together. I graduated on a Thursday, and I moved out by Tuesday morning, and we were living together. Like, we've been together. When I tell you we have been together since age 15, we have been together. Okay? Soon as I turned 18 and graduated high school, the next week we were living together, and we've been together ever since. So, knowing all the struggles, the tensions that we went through growing up together from 18 to 20 to 25 to 28 to 30 to where we are now, would that be something that you would try to steer your daughter away from? Or would you encourage her? Like, if she came to you at 15 and was like, Dad, like, I love him, I want to be with him forever, and they dated all through high school, and
I'd probably
now
have the same reaction your dad had to me.
what?
Who the fuck is listening now?
How would you feel about that?
I would have to trust your judgment.
So you wouldn't try
No,
to give her any type of advice on.
I would just say if you're sure in your heart of hearts, and this is what you're convicted. This is in your conviction. This is how you feel. Then I'd have to support her because I am a believer of it's better to find someone when you're young
Okay.
and grow together, and instead of getting to that stage to where now you're questioning everyone's loyalty and trust.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have that bond, like if you guys have been like, how we were like constantly together all those years, and then even with the 1 year of quote unquote long distance,
Yeah. Oh, when you went to
when I went to
college.
college,
Mm.
like if you can weather those things and prepare you, then yeah, I think I would encourage it.
Okay, so just a little backtrack first, because you brought it up about the 1 year of like long distance dating. When you went to college, right? That was like a really kind of nerve-wracking period for me, even though you were really good about like coming home
I saw
every.
you almost every weekend.
Right, that's what I say. Even though you were really good about coming home every weekend and stuff like that, it was still like nerve-wracking for me because you were at college. Like, you were already out in the world. You were already
and
commingling with
and yet and
college folk,
still I went to
and
every dance of yours
you
of your senior
did.
year.
You did. You did.
I hung out with people I did not want to see.
And it's so funny. Another memory just popped into my head. That's back when Aaliyah's song "Lost Without You." It's been too long and I'm lost with that song that came out. And I remember driving with my mom. We were on our way
You
home
gotta
from
stop dating
somewhere.
yourself.
Bye. We were on our way home from somewhere, and that song came on the radio, and I was like staring out of the window. This is like movie stuff. I was staring out of the window, and my mom looks over at me and she goes, "You miss Maurice, don't you?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, ew, don't be weird." I was like, don't be weird. Like, please don't try to be in my emotional life right now. And she was like, and she had like this weird grin on her face, like, oh my gosh, look at my daughter over there. She's lovesick. And she was like, "You miss Maurice, don't you?" And I was like, just leave me be. I was just like tending to my own thoughts out the window, but just let me be. But I just remember that being a point for me where I felt a little uneasy and a little unsure, even though, like you said, you came back and you were there every weekend. You took me to my prom and all of the good stuff. Part of me was still like, how long is this going to last? Like, he's in college already. Like, he's around college girls. He's got college friends. He's got so much freedom, and I'm still here back at home in this house. I have another year before I can leave.
I did not have freedom.
But from somebody who's on the other side who didn't know.
I was staying with my aunt. It wasn't like I could just bring random people into my aunt's
It
house.
doesn't matter, but you could come and go when you wanted.
Yeah, that I
Yes,
could, but I
exactly.
was not. I'm never been the type to hang out,
I
so
know.
that's not.
But part of me kind of felt like, okay, but what if he becomes that type? Like once you're
That's
exposed.
one part of me that's been true the whole time.
Yeah.
I've
Well, I
I've
mean,
always
except
been
now recently you've got new
no.
friends and they've inspired you to want to be out at bars.
Hold on. I've said so what I'm saying is I've always been very, very selective of who I hung out with.
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
always been that way.
That's true.
And it's not that I didn't hang out with bars during that time. I didn't really start hanging out with bars until I was with my brother
Okay.
when he got of age and we would hang out.
Yeah,
Because I
that's
used to
true.
always just drink at home. Cause I was cheap. It's cheaper to drink at home.
And your bed's there.
Exactly.
So
So
you could just
walk into the next room.
go
That's it.
sleep.
But I was also working. I was
Yeah,
going to
that's
school and
true.
working. You act like I had all this free time to just wonder.
I but see that's the thing. When we were apart, my head, my brain just did what it did what it did. It created all of these scenarios. Like
And this is why
in
y'all
my
crazy.
brain, you were like going to parties, doing all of the things, and I was just at home my senior year
You should have been going to the parties.
waiting to you know what? I did a couple of parties, and it was after that second party I was like,
Oh, did you?
these high school parties are not for me.
Oh, see, I didn't know about this.
Yeah, you knew about the parties.
No, I didn't.
I was just like, yeah, this is not for me. But anyway, so growing up together,
Yeah, go ahead and breeze over
I
that.
think it can be difficult. I know for me anyway, what I tried to be like aware of as we were growing up was I don't know why it was so important for me to feel like you were not missing things that you would probably do if you were single. Does that make sense?
Not at all.
Like if you wanted to go out, if you wanted to hang out with your friends, if you wanted to go to the club or go to the bar or do things like that, like I was always adamant like do you? Like if you want to do those things,
Those are
you
not.
never wanted to,
Yeah.
but part of me was just like I wanted you to be able to do those things because I didn't want you to feel like I was trying to hold you back in any type of way. Not even thinking about myself, but I was just thinking like I just didn't want you to feel like I was holding you back or because we've decided to be in such a committed relationship that we don't get to do the things that we're probably would do if we were single. You know what I mean? But I think especially in those earlier years, like the college years, it just wasn't our personality type.
Never really was.
Right. So I think I feel like that
I don't,
aspect,
because I never, even to this day, I don't go to bars to get drunk. I go to bars because I'm hanging out with people.
right, and just to have a good time.
Just have a good. Even when I went to the bars when I was going, I was literally just going to hang with my brother.
Yeah.
It was just about me hanging with my brother, and we would, sit down, have a couple of beers, watch the game, and talk, and have a good time,
Yeah.
and do brotherly stuff together. That was it. Like it was like our brother thing. It was like our thing that we did. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with my brother after work, while because you're still working. So it's hang out. It's either go home and look at four walls until you get home, or go hang out with my brother. So I was like, yeah, cool, let's go.
Like it's easy, it's
It's
simple.
easy choice.
In those earlier years, I'm talking like post college where we had some of our tougher years, like
I was drinking at home.
especially financially, like our tougher
You gotta put
financial
our business
years.
out there like that.
It's I mean, it's life. Our tougher financial years and being like, in your 20s and trying to make things work and we both working and trying to get things moving and a lot of moving parts. Do you think that was some of the tougher periods
For what?
for you, for our relationship?
I think it was tough on our relationship. It was definitely tough on me.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Why?
because my personal woes were spilling over into the relationship.
And how do you think that made me feel?
It most likely made you feel like I was holding you back, like you weren't living the lifestyle that you thought
I wouldn't say lifestyle, but
you weren't living the life that you thought you would be living.
yeah. But I mean, it's life. right?
Yellow. He only get one.
Right, and you only get one. But it's just instances like that, like when you're in the, for lack of better verbiage, like in the trenches, when you're going through things, I feel like those situations are what stretch you, and those situations are where you learn the lesson. Maurice, stop it. With your brain has to stop doing this. Your brain has to stop.
I didn't even say
I
anything.
didn't have to. I see your face. Your brain has to stop.
You're the one saying these things.
Okay, but you're the one that's making them into like sexual things,
No,
and they're not.
I didn't say anything sexual.
No, I know you. I see your face. I see your face. My gosh. Anyway, in those situations, those are the situations in which I feel like you're being stretched without knowing that you are. You're learning lessons about each other when you don't know that you are. And as you progress in your relationship, you're also starting to utilize the past experiences and the tools that you've picked up along the way to better engage with each other.
I think you're missing the whole, like, you're missing the point of it, part of it.
Of what?
I think you're missing the whole part of us. We had to grow up together and learn each other all while learning ourselves.
Yes.
Like all while like
For sure.
experiencing, the changes we're going through individually, and then how that affected us, as a unit, as a couple, and the dynamics of, our personal lives molding us one way, and we're trying to adapt that to our private lives, our marriage, our relationship wise, you know what I mean? And the adjustments that had to be made there, because, for a lot of times, especially like in our later 20s, like you were ahead of me a lot of the times because of what I was going through, because I was not in a place where I could grow, mentally, because I was just dealing with um dealing with my demons, and so self involved with the hurt and pain that I was dealing with. And during that whole time where I'm in this dark place, you're out there and you're growing, and you're getting promotions and you're getting degrees, and and I'm like sitting in a dark little corner, not knowing which way to walk, all while like you're blossoming, so it's like, there was a good stretch where I like to say like you were the flower and I was the weed,
Mhm.
and I was the one like holding down the relationship, and like that within itself was a portion of our relationship where we had to really grow and adapt and evolved a lot.
Mhm.
And so like I wouldn't go back that far. I mean, well, if I know what I know now, I would go back that far
Yeah.
because I'd be prepared. But yeah, like that to me was probably that was like the hardest stretch. But like I think towards the end of the 20s where things started to shape up and be better, I do think that our 30s have been like probably our best decade together.
Oh my gosh. For sure.
Yeah.
Like, you remember how excited I was to even turn 30. I was like,
I still remember the cake I bought you for your 29th
for
birthday.
my 29th birthday, and my 29th birthday, on my cake, he put, "You're almost 30." Because when I tell y'all, I could not, like, some people can't wait to be 21. Some people can't wait to be 25. I was the one who could not wait to be 30. I was like, I want to be 30. We need to get here. I want my 30th birthday. This needs to happen. Like, and also one of the big reasons why I wanted to turn 30 is because I wanted to be pregnant by the time I was 30. That was the goal. I always told him, like, I wanted to be pregnant at 30. And we found out that we were 7 weeks pregnant, like 2 days. What was it, like 2 days before?
You're
My,
31, right?
no,
Oh,
my
you're 30.
30.
Yeah, you're 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We found out we were 7 weeks pregnant, like 2 days before my 30th birthday.
Man.
So on my 30th birthday, I had my birthday dinner, and we had found out that I was 7 weeks pregnant.
And I was drunk.
And I couldn't drink, and I knew everybody was going to be buying me drinks. And we had this whole little game plan that everybody would like, when they bought me drinks, I would pretend to drink the drinks, but then he would finish the drinks off. It worked.
and I
Nobody
was
suspected
and I
anything.
was
So,
and I was drunk.
yeah, nobody suspected anything. So
I
that was really
was.
great.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Yeah, the thing about your 30th birthday was lit for me.
oh yeah, I had a really nice 30th
Yeah, I
birthday.
was lit. I was messed.
Yeah, it was
I
lit.
was
It
lit.
was super lit. But I know, like, going back to the question that I had asked you earlier about what advice would you give our daughter if she was trying to take the same road that we took. And I think for me, I would not necessarily, like, okay, if she was in high school and she found someone and she was just like in love and she was like, Mom, like, he's the one, you know, like, I would definitely support her. I wouldn't try to, like, steer her a different direction because I know how that can work with teenagers too. So
So
yeah,
go harder.
she's gonna go harder. So, but what I would do is I feel as though I would be more prone to giving her advice along the lines of, yes, like, you love him and you're in love with him, but you don't know what the next chapter of your life is gonna look like post high school.
And I think you say that. I think you say that because we have different examples.
What do you mean?
Because, like I said, you were raised pretty much by your mom, single mom,
Yeah.
right? You didn't have the dynamic of two parents, right?
Right.
I was raised by my grandparents who were married from 16 to 17
Right.
and had been together
Forever.
forever,
Yeah.
right? Before my grandfather passed.
Yeah.
So that's what I grew up seeing. So that's
Yeah.
what I grew up idolizing. So when I look at our daughter, she's gonna be, wow, like, my parents have been together since they were in high school, and she might try
Chances are she might want to emulate
she
that.
might want to emulate that, right? So, like, I can't fault her for that
No.
because we've had a really good life,
Right.
and so I can't say that she can't find someone and have a really good life, and they've just so happened to meet during the same time period where we met.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I can't discourage her from that.
I wouldn't discourage her. That's not what I was going to say. I wouldn't discourage her. I would just tell her to, like, not forget to just live life in a sense where you're trying to find out who you are, if that makes sense, right? Like how you said, going back, like what you said a few minutes ago, like, not only were we growing up together, like, trying to support
But
each other, learn each other, but also learning about who we are. I think for her, because I know what that period was like for me, and I remember the, like, excitement of starting college. Like, I remember, like, my first day of school. I remember meeting new people. I remember being invited to places. I remember all of that, right? And it's like, even though I didn't miss out on being able to do those things, I also had to be mindful that I did have someone at home.
so you wanted to be wilding. That's
No,
all I
that's
heard. That's
I
all I
of course
heard.
that's what you heard. Of course that's what you
What
heard.
I heard was, well, since I had a boyfriend, I couldn't do
Of course,
everything
of
I
course
wanted.
that's what you heard,
I couldn't do everything I wanted in college because I had a
But
boyfriend.
no, I'm just saying, like, I just would want her to make sure that she takes her time. That's it.
I hear that,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I felt like genuine love is something that you don't get often in a lifetime. And
Correct.
so, if she feels that that's genuine love, I would encourage her to hold on to that.
Oh, of course. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't want you to think that I would say that I would be discouraging her. I wouldn't want to discourage her. I would simply want to let her know that it's also important for you to continue to go after and pursue and do all of the things that you want to do as well.
But
And
I think what you're saying is a little hypocritical
why?
because you
Okay.
are with someone
Okay.
that has done nothing but encourage you to do whatever you wanted,
Okay,
right?
I didn't say you didn't.
What I'm saying is I have championed you
Yes, you
to
have.
pursue the things you wanted to pursue.
And you continue to today.
And it is very likely that she can find a person that does the same thing for her.
Babe,
And
that's
it will not change the outcome of where she goes in life if that person just supports the decision she makes for herself.
okay. That is all that is two things can be true at the same time, babe. That is true. She can very well find someone like her father.
Oh my god! I'm gonna just let you go to the streets because that's where you want to be.
You've been saying that forever. Why do you think I want to be in the streets?
You want to be
I
free.
don't want to be. If I wanted to be in the streets, I would quite literally be in the streets. There is no. Did you just? Are you referring to me as a bird?
Fly away, little birdie.
My goodness. Anywho, like I was saying, I just want her to know that it's important for her to also make sure that she is being self-full in her endeavors as she grows through life. And if she is fortunate enough to have a love like I had during that time and at that age that is going to support her and be her champion and root her on and not make her feel as though she has to choose between what she's going after in life and their relationship, I am all for it. I am all for it. It is my prayer is that she is fortunate to find a man who can love her and care for her and provide for her the way you have for me since we were teenagers. That is my hope and my prayer for my child.
I'm still waiting on my ROI.
Okay, you're gonna be waiting. Okay? You're gonna be waiting.
I'm gonna cut my losses and let you
Go ahead
free.
and cut your losses
I'll
because
let you
you've
free.
already been paid. I gave you a whole child.
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna
A
set
whole
you free.
child.
I'm gonna set you free. You want to be
I
for the
grew
streets?
fingernails for you.
You want to be for the streets so bad.
Anywho, that's all I was saying. Like if she's fortunate
Fly,
enough to
little
find
birdie.
that, I mean, then my prayers have been answered.
Okay.
But I think it's really important. I would not be able to stress enough to her that don't get so sidetracked with being in love and having the relationship that you lose sight of the things that you want to do or the things that you want to pursue. That's all I'm saying. Is that so tough?
Fly free.
If you refer to me as a bird one more time, that's your last time, sir. Your last time. Okay.
Well, that's I'm doing what?
Trying to refer to me wanting to be for the streets. I can't stand you. I love you and can't stand you at the same time. I love you and can't stand you at the same time. So I guess it goes without saying, asking the question, would you do it again?
Do what again?
Our life all over again.
I mean, with the data I know now, I would not mind doing it again.
Would you make any other different decisions?
I would make some different decisions.
Like what?
I would probably get help a little sooner.
Okay.
But knowing you now, I would just let you be free.
Oh my gosh. What do you mean you would let me be free?
You clearly, I held you back some kind of way.
You did not hold me back.
You wanted to experience things without a boyfriend. So
like what?
I don't know. You tell me. You don't want to be hot in the crotch.
Oh my gosh. Why are you this way?
That's what you said.
That's not what I said.
You said people would invite you places, but I had to think.
I did not say. Oh my gosh. People did invite me places, and I did go to some places.
And likewise, I did too.
But okay, so for instance, there's one instance I can think of that I can remember. I was gonna go to a rooftop party.
Okay.
It was in downtown LA, and I would be home really, really late. And you had a little attitude, which you're going to deny because anytime you have an attitude, you always deny having an attitude when I tell you have an attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And you were just like, well, how late?
Yes.
How late are you supposed to be home? And who are these people you're with? I don't know any of these people. Okay, well, they're people from school. But it's just like
you do the exact same thing.
Okay, but but I'm just saying it's those little things. Like, yes.
Okay,
if I were single, I wouldn't work. I would just be like, yeah, rooftop party. At 18, 19, of course, I'm there. Say less.
So the negative in that situation was that I cared about your safety.
No, that wasn't the negative. It wasn't the negative. The negative is that you were low key trying to guilt trip me. It wasn't kind of like you were saying, okay, baby, yeah, that's cool. What time you plan on being home? Oh, babe, I'm gonna be home late. Okay, well, how late, babe? Like, can you give me a time? Maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. Okay, that's fine. Just have fun. Call me if you need me. That would have been like, okay, no, but you were like, who are these people?
I
Where
know
are
those
you
people.
going? Like you had such a bad attitude about
But
it.
there's also been,
Hold
but
on,
hold
you had
on.
such a bad attitude about it. So I know what you were trying to inflict by having that attitude. Though what you wanted to get out of it was just saying, you know what, just forget it. I'll be on the 9 o'clock train. I'm coming home.
All I said was, all I was gonna say was, is that I didn't know those people. I wasn't comfortable. If something happened to you, see, this is the thing. This is how I think. This is how I think, right?
Hmm.
If something, can you please stop that?
I'm
Please.
trying to. Go ahead.
If something happens to you, I'm the first person your daddy gonna call. I'm the first person your mama gonna call, and it's gonna be my fault because I didn't know where you were. That's what you don't understand.
I do
I
understand
was
that.
responsible for you, even though we were not married. I was still responsible for you, not just by your mother and your father, but by your uncles and your auntie and your granny. And if something would have happened to you, the first question would have been was, "Where the hell was Maurice?" That would have been the first question. So yeah, I took it personal. I don't know these people. And there's also been times when you've gone out with coworkers to 1, 2 in the morning, and that's fine because you've known them people for a while, and I kind of knew who you were with, and it was fine. So don't act like, but no, you in downtown LA, you're naive. You,
Wow, I was naive.
yes, Kanisha, you're very smart. You have no street smarts.
Oh my
I could
gosh.
not. You could have been roofied. That's all I know.
I could have been what?
Roofied.
Oh my
You could have
lord.
ended up at a Diddy
You
party.
you
For all I know. For all I know, you could have been at a Diddy party, and I was just trying to protect you.
well, I assure you I was not at a Diddy party.
A Diddy Jr.
I was in downtown LA on a rooftop
Yeah, Diddy. Yeah.
with friends.
Because I'm thinking downtown LA, they 19, rooftop. I said, whoever this party is, they older.
Yes, they were.
Because either their daddy got money, their family got money, or they got money, and they inviting.
It was just the scene.
And they're okay, and they're inviting college girls over.
It was a scene.
It's as an older man now, it all sounds fishy.
As an older man,
It sounds fishy.
because now I'm just thinking if Phoenix called me and
He'd
was
be
like, "Mom,
hell
I'm
no.
going to a rooftop party in downtown." Ma'am, you're not old enough to drink, so and that sounds like there's gonna be alcohol at a rooftop.
But I was wrong. And this is the problem. When you try to protect these women,
Oh my gosh, Maurice, stop it.
they feel like
Stop it.
you're restricting them. I was
Stop
just trying
it.
to protect her.
No, you had an attitude. Had you not had the attitude was the problem.
Because I was serious about your protection.
No, it had nothing to do with you being serious.
You want to be right so bad. I have nothing else to say on the matter.
Okay. Anyways. So, I mean, I guess in conclusion, I would just say, like I said before, growing up together presents its own challenges,
Which are?
which are trying to find yourself, who you are as a person, the things you want to do and pursue in life, but also having to consider an entire other person.
Right. Don't forget about the call from the streets.
Having to consider an entire other person, like high key, it's not always easy, right? Because it's different if you're by yourself and you decide, you know what, I want to go live in Atlanta now. Like I want to check that out. Like I have no ties, I'm not married, I'm single, I don't have no kids, I'm grown. Like if I want to go explore and live in a new state, I'm going to go do that. When you are with someone and in a committed situation, that's something you have to consider that person. Like how would you moving affect their day to day? How would that affect their job or career? How would that affect, everything? So doing all of that from age 15 on up to where we are now, I do feel as though we've done a pretty good job.
Mm.
I do feel like we've done a pretty good job. I do feel like there is still things that we're learning about each other
Mm.
because we're constantly changing.
Mm.
Like what were you saying yesterday? That you feel as though your style is changing.
Yeah, I'm in my old man bag.
Right? So it's like things that you used to wear, even the things you used to wear are already changing.
Yeah.
And you can already see that, right? So now that's something else for me to have to adapt to. I have to adapt to whatever this new style is for to start
I
emerging.
just think I kind of think I'm over the graphic tees.
You think you're over the graphic tees?
Yeah.
You want to move into a more sophisticated.
No, like I said, like I just probably only wear stuff with like my brand on it.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, that works. Kind of like I am today. But yeah, like life continues to change. You continue to change and evolve. And as we continue to change and evolve, that presents a whole new set of challenges. But I do think that now we're in our late 30s. Whew, that's it. That's a lot. Now that we're in our late 30s, heading toward that 40 mark, I do feel like things are like settled in a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like we have a little bit better of a flow and like raising our child
I think we
and
just have
doing
a
life together.
we have a pretty good understanding of one another.
We do. We do. I think we do. Like each other's temperaments, each other's buttons,
Body language.
body language, facial expressions, demeanor. And I think all of that just comes with time. Like some things
But I can still not read your thoughts.
no, you can't.
Never.
Unfortunately.
I don't want to. And Lord knows I don't want you to read mine.
No, I don't want to be up there.
It's a dark place.
I don't want to be up there. But overall, I think we've done pretty well for ourselves. I don't think, I mean, for me, I guess when people say couples goals, like what aspect of it are you referring to? I guess. Like, cause for me, I've never really looked at any. No,
It's always the good side.
I take that back. Before couples goals was like hashtag couples goals. Before that was like even a saying. I think couples goals for me when I was younger, the couple, I've said this before too, the couple that I looked up to the most was my Aunt Jeanette and my Uncle Don. So, and I remember seeing their life, like being able to go to my auntie's house and she had this beautiful home in Gardena and she had handbags and shoes and her and my Uncle Don just looked like they were so happy and like he had an amazing career and like all the things, right? And before I even knew what that was called, like saying couples goals, I do distinctively remember being like, man, I hope I can have a life like my Auntie Jeanette and my Uncle Don. Like I do want a life like my Uncle Don and my Auntie Jeanette. You know what I mean? So for me, what that looked like was just them being happy and the life that they got to live, I guess. Like together. You know what I'm saying? Like my aunt they were both retired, but they just had a really cool relationship. They did parties and stuff at their house. My sister's baby shower was at their house. My aunt's wedding was at their house. Like they had functions there. You know what I'm saying? So I remember just like their general lifestyle.
Ain't no weddings here.
Bye. I just remember thinking their general lifestyle. Like I just wanted to be like my Auntie Jeanette and my Uncle Don. So when I think about when people say, oh, couples goals, I guess they're just like referring to like the interaction of the couple, like what they perceive your relationship to be, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They perceive your relationship to be like you have no problems, or the one that I get all the time is your husband is not like this. Your husband does this. So it's like the perception that they have of you as my husband, and they just think like you just
I can't help what I'm afraid.
like like you just come prepackaged and you do no wrong, and I'd be like his poop stinks just like your husband's. Trust me.
I cannot help it. I'm a great husband.
Goodbye. You are a great husband. Don't get me wrong. You are an amazing husband. Wouldn't trade you for the world.
I'm the best.
Hands off. I will go to bat for this one.
I'm the best you ever gonna get.
That's the intention.
Oh no, that's the fact.
Oh. That sounds violent.
Whatever. I take it how you want to.
That sounds like you're willing to do prison time. I kind of like it.
You wow.
I kind of like it. But yeah, overall, guys, just try not to idolize couples that you see. If you're inspired by...
Don't idolize anybody.
Right, don't idolize anybody. If you're inspired by a couple's interactions or whatever your perception of their marriage or relationship is, nothing is as it seems. And it takes time and it takes work, it takes ups and it takes downs to get to where you see them now. And even then, things probably ain't all gravy. Okay? All right, moving right on in to my husband's favorite segment.
This is your favorite part.
This is your favorite part because you likes to be petty patty. This is where you get to be petty patty. But I really do want to hear your opinion about this one. All right, here we go. Our 2 cents, guys. Am I wrong for not considering this as cheating? Okay. I've been married to my wife for 6 years and we've been together for 10 years. We have a 4-year-old girl as well. I love my wife so much. She is amazing. I also have a best friend who I've known since we were in middle school. There has never been anything romantic between us, but we vibe really well. She has been a licensed massage therapist for the past decade or so, and I have been seeing her monthly for the past decade because getting a massage from her is literally heaven. My wife does know I go to get massage therapy monthly, and she even encourages it, but she doesn't know that it's the massage therapist who's my best friend. And she also doesn't know that I've been going for over a decade. I asked one of my male friends what he thinks about this, and he says while it isn't cheating, it is stretching the limits of it. Am I wrong for not considering this as cheating? What's your thoughts?
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong what?
He's not wrong because he's not cheating. The logical side of him, he's not cheating,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
But I agree with his friend. He is stretching it because if there is any situation in which you would believe your wife would have an issue with this
Mm-hmm.
and you're hiding it from her, you're not cheating, but you're hiding something from your wife.
Mm-hmm.
So if your wife was to find out about this, would you have to get a different
Massage therapist.
right,
Uh-huh.
right? And then, but at that point, but also to his point, I understand because I'm also the type of guy who was like, if I'm going to get a massage, it's going to be a lady massaging me. I don't want another man's hands on me. I just
That's fair. I
yeah,
just booked us massages and I was like, I need a woman for my husband.
because I'm not. I have a woman doctor. I'm serious about mine. I don't want another man touching me. Period. So that I can agree, but the problem in this situation is the history.
Yeah.
And even though the history has been nothing but platonic,
Platonic, yeah.
it's about
The perception.
it's about the perception from your wife.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes back to where I always say you have to protect your wife more than just physical. This may be a mental hurdle that she can't get over because now she's going to assume or think or ponder if, when, or maybe how
Right.
the line could get crossed.
And the fact that you've kept it from her this long, you've been getting a massage from your best friend for over a decade. Your wife knows that you do massage therapy every month and she encourages it. But at no point in the past 10 years were you ever going to divulge to me that the person giving you your massage is your best friend. And if she's your best friend, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that your wife
Knows her.
And
Yeah.
has met her. She has been in y'all's home, and nor has she
But we don't
ever
know.
said anything.
We don't know. She might have said something.
How could she have said anything? The wife, he
Look here.
already knows his wife doesn't know.
Look here. If you feel guilty about it, tell your wife. If not, I don't see you doing nothing wrong. Because at this point, you've been seeing her for 10 years. She know exactly what a massage.
She would?
She know the spots. You done
She
had
know exactly where to massage.
you done had 10 years of training her where your problems are in the location.
You don't got to fill out that little paperwork
no,
when you get.
no.
But okay, but I'm wondering if you're going into like a spa or is she like coming to the office? Because you know there's massage therapists that like travel. So now I'm wondering.
I'm assuming he's going down to a spa. Now, see, that's different because now if
See?
you going over to her house to get a massage. Now, hold on now, because now you got proximity.
But I've been coming to her house for 10 years. Well, where is she giving you this massage? On her bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, babe. If it's something that you have not like you feel hesitant to mention it to your wife, then obviously you know that your wife might have a problem with it.
She might have a
She might have a
problem.
problem with it. You know, on some level that it may be slightly inappropriate, even if it is platonic,
Yep.
even if it is professional. The fact that you haven't told your wife and it's been a decade, and that your best friend hasn't told your wife and it's been a decade, for me, I think that's where my mind would start doing the thing that women's minds can do.
But you know what? You know, a lot of people will say I'm weird because I have a very like when it comes to females, I set boundaries like day one.
Well, I mean, I just think that's responsible because it goes back to what I always say. That's why I never say never, right? If you put yourself in situations where it could potentially lead to something that is not conducive to you or your relationship, then that was kind of like on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of on you. It- Where
What were you saying?
if you I don't know why you did that. Yes, so I think it is your responsibility. It's it's your responsibility to make sure that you draw boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
that you not put yourself in situations that can become compromising for you,
Mm-hmm.
and that you have clear and open communication with your partner.
Facts.
Okay, so that's that's pretty much the gist of it, guys. If you're not doing so
Yes.
already, you can follow us on all of our social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram.
Only got a month left on TikTok.
Stop saying that. We don't know that to be true. Facebook, you can follow us on our Facebook page at Laugh After I Do Podcast. We upload a new episode every Wednesday. You can feel free to reach out to us at Life After I Do Podcast at gmail.com. And until then, guys, we shall see you next week. Peace.
Peace, Booscaronis.
Peace, Booscaronis.